Five codes used by Roland Barthes, the structuralist critic, one who turned post-structuralist critic later on. So first of all, let us talk about what are the major five codes used by Roland Barthes in his 1970 famous book S oblique Z. First of all, the name of the book should be remembered. It is S oblique Z, capital S oblique capital Z. Now, sometimes students ask me what is the exact meaning of the title itself. It is a structural analysis. The title refers to the structural analysis of uh, Honoré de Balzac, a very famous French writer of realism, one who I can say pioneered the concept of realism in fiction in French literature. So this book S oblique Z, in which Roland Barthes has given us five codes which are very important from examination point of view. So this book is a structural analysis done by Roland Barthes of a famous story, Sarrasine, in which there are two characters, major characters. There is a whole story. You can read it first of all. If you can't read the whole story in the English translation, you can read at least it's a summary. It is all about a kind of Pygmalion sort of story in which there is a boy, one who loves art, is an artist, and he goes to Italy, and there he falls in love with a beautiful. This artist's name is Sarrasine, and he falls in love with the Zambinella. Zambinella means the spelling starts with capital Z or Z. So later on, he falls truly in love with that lady, and she's an actress. But later on, he comes to know that this woman, this lady, is not a woman but a castrato. Castrato means here a person, one who has undergone some transformation from male into female, or say kind of people who were there in the culture of France, where they used to perform on stage because women were not allowed. So eunuchs sort of things, or drag queens kind of people who used to in between the male and female kind of people. We exactly don't call them queer, we call them castrato. Clear? So his dreams got shattered, and he is about Sarrasine when he comes to know about Zambinella, that she is not a she but a he, and then he tries to kill her, and later on he himself is killed. So this is the whole plot line of the whole story, which has been structurally analyzed by Roland Barthes. इसको Roland Barthes भी बोल सकते हो आप, but because it's a real pronunciation, the name of the writer's name's pronunciation is Roland Barthes. Okay, so this is all about the story. First of all, like S oblique Z means it's a whole clash between Sarrasine and Zambinella. Okay, so this is about title. Now let us talk about the five codes. The writer, this story of Balzac was not very famous earlier, but when in 1970 Roland Barthes wrote this book S oblique Z, in which he has done the structural analysis, this book became very famous. This novella, this Sarrasine became very famous. And now let us talk about, because I have planned to make the video as short as possible. So there are five codes, the writer says, and then these five codes became very famous, that by applying these codes, any text's systematic meaning can be understood. Though let me warn my students that Roland Barthes is one who believes that actually there is no meaning in a text, because structuralism believes, or what are the basic tenets of structuralists, they say that language is a structure, okay, and it's a arbitrary combination of signifier and signifieds, and meaning is mostly culturally informed to the speakers of a language. Okay, so by keeping in the background of our mind this definition of structuralism, I would also like to add, before I talk about the five codes, that how this book is very important, and they may ask you questions about that, because this analysis, structural analysis, though is informed by structuralist postulations or tenets of Ferdinand de Saussure, but it paved way for post-structuralism. Clear? It means, like the writer says, that because in out of the five codes, the first two codes he says that can be can give us some meaning, but the later three codes he says that which are not fixed, and meanings can be interpreted, accordingly. So let me talk about the five codes. The first code is Hermeneutic Code. Hermeneutic is already an established word, where hermeneutics is a word where we do the systematic or detailed analytical study of Bible, because Bible is a text where deeper meanings are concerned. So the writer in this, by applying this code to a text, he says that how story or narration moves forward. Okay, so the kind of suspense is always there, like what happens next. So this is the first code through which we can come across a meaning. So remember, first code is Hermeneutic Code, and the word hermeneutics is already there, which means the study of Bible, but he has applied this word here in a different sense, in the sense of suspense, through which we can move ahead in a narrative with a curiosity. Okay, and the second code is Proairetic, Proaretic. Proairetic Code means sequence of certain things, or sequence of events, because through hermeneutics we go to find the meaning, to search for the meaning by simply following, because the Roland Barthes has analyzed the whole story Sarrasine blow by, taking paragraphs. Every paragraph for him is a kind of sentence, and he does then he does a systematic analysis of every paragraph, and then comes up with this code. So Hermeneutic Code is the first one. Second is the Proairetic. In the Proairetic, he talks about the sequence, how events are sequenced in a text. The third is, there are two different meanings, or say terms: semic or semantic. Semantic, everybody knows, means meaning. So semic or semantic code is third code, which means if we take from a text different phrases, different words, different clauses, okay, and we don't go to the denotative meaning. Denotative meaning means the surface meaning of these phrases and words. But suppose we go to the in-depth meanings, or the connotative meanings, or implied meanings of these phrases, then again we get to know something in detail, what the writer wants to convey. So again, I'm repeating once more. I cannot say repeating again, that would be a kind of error in English. Hermeneutic Code is the first one, Proairetic Code is the second one, semic or semantic code is the third one, and the fourth one is Symbolic Code. Now, what is Symbolic Code? Again, this is again related to kind of semantic code, where the meaning through the symbols are connotative, because suppose some writer has created a symbol out of something, and it depends on the reader when he fathoms the meaning in detail. Okay, so certain symbols writer has talked in detail. Out of these, two are very important, like antithesis and paradox. I can give you one example, like when he goes to a ball to meet Zambolina. There are beautiful women, but then there is an old man also. So that contrast, everywhere that contrast is there, like the contrast of male and female, man and woman, morning and evening, death and life. So these kind of contrasts are symbolically strewn around in the whole story of Sarrasine by Balzac. And Roland Barthes then studies these symbolic codes and tries to fathom the exact meaning. Next, the last one, last but not the least, is cultural code. Cultural code means the body of knowledge which is mostly outside of the text. Like suppose I'm a writer and I write something, by keeping in mind that whatever I'm writing, and the reader suppose belongs to the same culture, will have the common sense of understanding that meaning. So suppose, but my guess is wrong, and I find that somebody who reads my text later on does not belong to my culture and will totally miss the exact point what I have written. Okay, so cultural codes are again very important. Like suppose we are reading, we read the story Sarrasine, and we don't know about the historical background of artistic background of England, or say European countries or France, then we will miss many things in the text. Okay, so I take my leave with this 5 codes. I hope you would like the video, and kindly write some comments so that it can boost my morale. Thank you very much.